Hello, it has been a while since I have put out a video. Part of that's because I've, I spent 2 months visiting with my parents in a different state. And I also, right before that, was doing a lot of canning to do some catch up on it. Not catch up as in cats up, but catching up to get some canning stuff of stuff that was in my freezer because I had had to wait 5 weeks to get a new stove. It's just a supply issue, but I didn't have anything to can on. So once I got it, I was in major production mode, getting canned up what I had that needed to have it done before I went on my trip. So I am back home, and I'm not sure what kind of videos I'm going to make at this point. I've got some stuff I need to take care of since I've been gone so long. But I did want to put out a quick one today. I don't have a lot of subscribers, and that's fine. I don't, it's not a big deal to me. This is just something I kind of do because it's kind of fun. But I do have some subscribers that kind of look forward to my videos. This one is just a talking video, but it's going to be very short. I have seen a lot of videos popping up in my suggested list and also on Pinterest about Amish canning. And what they're talking about is water bath canning everything. This is not safe. And it's safe for jams and jellies, which are generally made with high acid fruit and a lot of sugar. It is safe for most fruits as because they are high acid. We are not including bananas in that. I know people make this stuff called monkey butter with bananas and water bath it, and I would not. Doesn't sound like anything I want to eat anyway, and it might be great, but I like bananas. I like banana bread. And I'm not a jam and jelly person, so I don't ever make any of those. Water bathing is fine if it's high acid. Now, one of the things that I have learned this year is that a lot of the newer tomato types that have been made, they're hybridized, they are not as acidic as, say, heirloom varieties. The reason for this is they're trying to make them sweeter to appeal to more people because most people use tomatoes like vegetables when technically they are a fruit. So, the suggestion is go ahead and water bath them, but add lemon juice or some citric acid powder. You don't need much. Neither of those items is expensive. They're like dead cheap. You can buy the little squeeze bottle of lemon juice, or you can get the citric acid. Comes in powder form, usually in a little bottle, plastic bottle, and they're not expensive. So go ahead and put that in. Look for the recommended amount for the size jar you're using. Sorry, my voice is a little froggy today. Sinuses. But you put that in, and then you can water bath it, and you don't have to worry about it. Okay, just follow the directions in your ball book or ball website or something like that where people know what they're doing. To water bath something for hours does not make it safe. You have to reach a high enough temperature with low acid food to kill off any possible botulism spores. In a pressure canner, between the heat and the pressure, it reaches that temperature that is needed. Because also that the time frame for the amount of time it's in that pressure canner, it's different depending on what size jars you're using, whether you're using pints, half pints, and so on, or Quarts. Quarts have to be pressure canned or water bath canned longer than pints. I tend to do pints because I'm only preserving food for one person. Um, so follow your directions when it comes to that. Now, low acid foods, we are talking 99% of all vegetables are low acid. Any and all meats, including fish, um, beef, pork, chicken, duck, turkey, uh, pheasant, doves, um, pretty much any fowl. Um, Goats, I would imagine, because I know you can eat goat. Lamb, pretty much any meat product, fish or fowl, or four-legged meats. You want to pressure can them and pressure can them properly. Um, as far as I understand, I tend to cook my meats first, or at least partially cook them first. I just like the product better. However, from my understanding, most meats can be pressure canned without cooking first, except for ground meat. The reason for not putting ground meat in a jar and pressure canning it is that it's very dense. And so if you cook it, or at least partially cook it, like say like hamburger or any type of other burgerish type uh, meat products, if you cook that first, then it's going to be in like little chunks, okay, small chunks. You can can it without liquid. I've tried that. I don't particularly like canned hamburger. I tried it with broth. I tried it with water. I tried it dry with not adding anything extra. Um, the taste is fine. I do not like the texture. It's the texture of wet cat food, canned cat food, and I don't like that texture in my mouth or in my casseroles. So, your choice. A lot of people love it. Some people say that the canned hamburger tastes better than freshly fried. More power to you. If that's what you like, go for it. Um, but those meats really do need to be at least partially cooked before you put them in a jar, because you want them to break up to where that heat goes all the way through it. Same thing if you are making puree for pies, like as in pumpkin. Um, it can get very dense, and the heat may not get all the way to the center to a high enough temperature to make sure that it's safe. My option for that is I'll take, say, pumpkin, and I'll cube it. I'll roast it in the microwave or in the oven, whatever, and then take the peel off of it and everything, and I'll just put it in cubes and can the cubes with water. So that when I get ready to make a pie, I'm going to take a jar of that out, drain it, and just mash it. Because once it's in the pressure canner, it's going to cook it, but it holds its cube shape. Now, you're going to mash it or puree it or something anyway before you make a pie, so you can use a blender or a stick blender or a potato masher, whatever you've got that to make more of a puree to make it smooth. That perfectly fine. And to me that makes more sense. For me, that's a lot less work at the canning stage, because all I'm doing is taking, you know, slices of pumpkin, cutting the rind out because I've already cleaned the inside, cut the rind off of it, and cube it up and stick it in the jar with some water and a little pinch of salt. I don't put much salt in them. And when you're using salt in canning, get the plain salt, not iodized. You can use sea salt, Himalayan salt, kosher salt, or what they call plain salt. If you're buying, the little canisters at Walmart, it'll say plain salt rather than iodized. The iodized won't hurt anything, but it will make whatever you're canning, you get cloudiness in there. Won't hurt you, it just looks kind of funky in the jar because it's cloudy. Okay? But please, if you're seeing some of these videos and posts about Amish canning and canning everything in a water bath, please read up on it. Please read about botulism and how dangerous that is. Even though it's rare, let's not go there. Nobody wants to get sick and possibly die. Okay? Botulism is a real thing. There is one video I've seen on YouTube, a lady that she did everything wrong when it came to canning because she was a newbie and she didn't know any better. And she came down with botulism. And it was only because she got to a hospital quickly enough that she got help and she didn't die. But it shuts down your nervous system, which means you're not going to have your brain telling your body what it's supposed to do. Important things like breathe. So, and you could end up paralyzed. There's just a lot of really nasty things. It is rare. It is a soil-borne bacteria, and high heat kills it. But it's got to be very high heat. That's why the pressure canning, between the pressure and the amount of heat in that canner, it raises the temperature level higher than you could get by boiling. I mean, I'm at 7,700 feet elevation. Water does not boil. Liquids do not boil at the higher temperature that they do at, say, at 900 feet or even at sea level when I lived in Houston. No, it's a lower temperature that it boils at because of the elevation. So in my mind, it's like, just be safe and pressure can items that need to be pressure canned. And if you're going to water bath tomatoes, add some lemon juice or some citric acid powder to it, in the jar. And that way, it's acidic enough, and it's not going to change the taste enough to hurt anything. It doesn't make your, you try, if you decide to use lemon juice, it is such a small amount, say in a pint or a quart jar, that your tomatoes are not going to taste like lemonade, okay? They just won't. They just won't. But be safe. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. There's a few videos being put out, one in particular by Homestead Tessie, and she's telling you the same thing I am. She goes into a little bit more detail about a lot of things. One thing I will tell you about Homestead Tessie, she was raised in a Mennonite home. Her parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, and so forth were Mennonites. She tells me, when I listen to her video, she says that Mennonites do use, and Amish do use, pressure canners. No, they may not have electricity, but they'll have wood stoves, propane stoves, so they can cook like everybody else does. It's just a different form of it, and they do use pressure canners. Pressure canner doesn't plug into electricity. So, we have ways to keep from getting sick. Let's use them. Let's use them. Everybody have a good day. I'm going to shut this down. I'm a little froggy with the sinus crap today. There's allergies kind of stuff. I don't know. What can I say? It's nice. I got the windows open. Everything's coming in. So everybody have a great day, and I'll see what I can figure out what I can make a video on the next time around. Talk to you later. Bye.